Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's our last episode of the year, so we're doing things a little differently. We're naming 10 of our favorite things from the past year. And let's start off with Jordans sitting on shelves. We just did a whole Hard Pass segment about the availability of Jordan retros on last week's show, so check that out. But we'll repeat the main point here. There's never been a better time over the past 15 years to build a collection of Jordan retros. Old heads who have the OGs and maybe one of its retros are still satisfied and don't feel the need to buy a new pair of 11s or white cement 3s or Royal 1s. Hypebeasts are searching for the next big thing that will get them clout, so they're avoiding retros like the plague. Resellers are no longer able to profit off GRs like Fear 3s or Cherry 12s. The increased prices and varying degrees of quality is never going to go away, and that is absolutely fair to critique, but man, being able to walk into a mall and pick up a pair of 1s and 3s, 11s, and 12s is kind of great too. All right, next is the 10 so these are not actually growing on me sneakers of the year. This list is dedicated to the 10 sneakers that we gave a lot of airtime to this year, but in hindsight probably did not deserve it. Thanks for the content, sneakers that turned out to be not as great as we initially thought, but we probably won't be revisiting you in 2024. Number 10, the Nike Dot Swoosh Air Force 1 Tonnage. This is not a JPEG. Number 9, the Air Jordan 11 Neapolitan. True story. No less than 3 separate times this year, co-writer passed by a store, saw the Neapolitans out of the corner of his eye, but thought they were Concords or Gratitude 11s dropped early. And now we know why Jordan Brand released these. Number 8, Crocs Cowboy Boots. I love Crocs, but nah. Number 7, any new Adidas Yeezy colorway that dropped in 2023. I don't think I need to explain that one. Number 6, the Supreme Clark's Wallabies. Number 5, the Supreme Doc Martin. Wait, co-writer, we never talked about these. Oh, you purposely left these off the scripts and just wanted to clown on them before the end of the year? I got you. I see you. We think the same. It's rare, but it happens. Number 4, the Anta Shockwave 5 Pro. Look, the sooner we get Kyrie's actual signature shoe, the better. Number 3, the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis. But look, mark your calendars. We're going to be unboxing these in a few months. Number 2, the Mischief Big Red Boot, but in yellow. It's called the Big Red Boot, but it's actually it's a yellow boot, but it's called, you get what I'm trying to say. And number 1, the Tiffany & Co. Nike Air Force 1, both versions. From the boring execution to the lack of participation from Nikki Diamonds, it felt like every time we learned something new about this collab, the more our excitement for these waned. Even the friends and family exclusive was a dud, really. That's how cursed this whole collaboration became. Next, the 4 seasons rule. As someone who enjoys a good binge of a TV show, a trend emerged this year that I hope continues into the new year and beyond. No series should last more than 4 seasons. Hear me out. Hey, I can never complain about the amount of content we've gotten on all of the streaming services out there. The more the merrier and whatnot, but from a quality standpoint, I don't think I've ever seen a stretch of banger finales like the ones we just had earlier this year. Like, on the same night, both Succession and Barry wrapped up on HBO. They were both so good that it felt like the network was saying goodbye because nothing they can do moving forward will ever stop that 1-2 punch. Apologies to all the fans out there who saw The Sopranos finale live. No, really, I'm sorry you saw that live. It must have been a kick in the ass and kind of scary too because you probably thought your cable was cut off. And as someone who got around to watching the final season of Atlanta a little late, all they did was prove that the 4-season rule, it works. Like, creators, especially on prestige content like these shows were, should maybe sign a stick the landing deal that state they can never go beyond 4 seasons. And even if they end with some meat left on the table, that's okay too, because I'm at the point now where the feeling of satisfaction with a tinge of wanting more is more desirable than 10 seasons that wasted my time. And if you're wondering, no. Attack on Titan does not qualify as a 4-season show because not only did the self-proclaimed final season last almost 3 calendar years, it was a slog for half of its runtime with characters nobody should care about, like Eren and Armin and the Titans and basically anybody not named Mikasa or Levi. Maybe the creator of AOT did sign a stick the landing deal, and that's why they had to name the final season something as insane as Final Season, the final chapters in all caps, Part 2. The last part This is a concern troll for two shows that either just finished their fourth season or are rumored to be having a season 4 because the money might be too good to pass up. Harley Quinn and Ted Lasso. Hey, I will never begrudge creators from getting the bag, even if it means extending a story past its expiration date. But as a fan, I hope these people find something else to do that will get them paid because, Ted Lasso could not have ended a minute too soon, and Harley Quinn might be close to getting there. Kite Man spinoff notwithstanding. All right, next, golf enters their Hypebeast era. And yes, I absolutely mean the good folks over at Hype Golf. Golf, for better or worse, will always be a sport with a high barrier to entry, but one that will be torn down is the look of the game. From iconic sneakers popping up with tooling made for the links to high-profile collaborations you wouldn't expect to ever team up to non-traditional golfers showing us through social media that you can enjoy the game however you want. There has never been a better time to line up at the tee box, stripe a ball down the middle of the fairway, and record your own commentary to show the world your impeccable comedic timing. Shout out to friend of the program, Eric Lottery. And look, just because we enjoy listening to music during our rounds while wearing Nike SB Jordan 4s with swapped out tooling and getting into deep philosophical discussions about why it's so funny that Kirkland signature clubs are selling out, it doesn't mean we don't respect the traditions of the game. As someone who has been fortunate enough to walk the hallowed greens of Augusta National, St. Andrews, and Los Angeles Country Club, which, to be fair, I didn't know existed until a few weeks before the US Open, my goal is not to turn every tournament into Waste Management Open or a fun night at Topgolf. We're not here to yuck the yums of the olds, but we are here to show them that golf can look different. And I mean that in every sense of the word. All right. Next up, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, we went with the 4 seasons rule for the TV segment because there's no way we'd have been able to pick between Succession, Atlanta, and Barry for the best show we watched in 2023. Favorite movie is a little different. No offense to the Barbenheimer crowd or whatever great thing Marty Scorsese did this year that I'm sure is going to lead to an interview that will piss off MCU fans again. Motherfucking Across the Spider-Verse was a masterpiece. Months after it came out, I'm still amazed at how the creators were able to seamlessly bring together so many different art styles that look like they could have each carried their own standalone films. Like, give me a full movie, or at least a special on Disney Plus of that vulture that looks like a Renaissance-era drawing by Leonardo da Vinci taking on that universe's Spider-Man. A miniseries of our guy Parvit Trier Prabhakar, whatever the hell Spider-Punk wants to do. 4 seasons of Spider-Gwen. Give me all of it. But at the heart of it all is Miles Morales. Look, it's hard for anybody my age to say that there will ever be a Spider-Man that's better than the 616 Peter Parker, but damn if Miles isn't giving Pete a good fight for the title. From the comic book pages to video games to the silver screen, Marvel is doing what I never imagined would be possible in the modern era, and that's to do a successful handoff of a character as iconic as Spider-Man to a new generation. All right, next. 10 good things AI can finish so we can stop asking about them, finally. 1, Song of Ice and Fire. 2, Detox, Dr. Dre. 3, Shenmue chapters 6 through 11, or 16, or whatever the hell the original plan was. 4, Edgar Wright's Ant-Man movie. 5, Netflix's live-action Cowboy Bebop so they can fix it. 6, Half-Life 3. 7, The Last Air Jordan. 8, Winning Time. Still not happy nobody watched the show. You guys are horrible people. 9, the tweet that will actually break Twitter for good because, my God, Elon's been trying for a while now and some people and millions of bots are still using this stupid thing. And 10, AMC's The Walking Dead. I know there's 10 spinoffs, but I just want someone to write a finish already. Gosh. All right, next. Adidas surviving 2023. Let's be real here. Adidas ate a lot of shit in 2023. Yes, we just praised Anthony Edwards for the way he brought back some swag and fun to the 3 stripes, but that was towards the end of the year. The first 8 months or so, it felt like they could not get out of their own way. Let's start at the top with the newly hired CEO, Bjorn Gulden. He was brought on board to see the company through one of its more turbulent moments, the dropping of Kanye West from the brand. While he wasn't at Adidas yet when Kanye was let go, Golden still managed to find a way to insert himself into the discussion in the worst possible way, hand-waving all of the things that made Adidas say goodbye to their highly successful but highly toxic moneymaker. Sure, Golden walked back to his comments once he saw the backlash, but hey, we heard him the first time. And then there's the other stuff that ranges from mildly harmless to, well, that was dumb. There's James Harden torching his longtime partnership with Philadelphia 76ers GM Dale Morey during an Adidas event in China, where Morey is persona non grata. Then we had the controversial unloading of the leftover Yeezy stock that's still a growing concern. The unveiling of their partnership with Jerry Lorenzo and Fear of God that feels like 3 years too late. And their continued use of the, quote, crazy label for their release of the late Kobe Bryant's signature shoes. Now that last one is more of a personal nitpick for us, but look, at least we weren't predicting Adidas was going out of business like Kanye fans were. Like, if you read their comments, you would think that Adidas' survival as a business was entirely dependent on Yeezys. Spoiler, Adidas is by some miracle still around even without Kanye. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Not me. No. I really believe that Adidas was going to shut down their whole operation because Yeezys weren't going to be around anymore. Who could have predicted that their ties to almost every sport in existence, combined with decades of name brand recognition, wouldn't mean without Kanye? So a salute to you, Adidas. You made it to 2024. Meanwhile, Kanye fans, well, they have to force themselves to pre-order those knockoff City socks and tweet among their fellow blue check bots that they are works of genius. All right, next up, a year of ones. Over the past 18 months, we have seen a number of basketball signature shoes debut in both the NBA and WNBA. From Breanna Stewart to John Morant to Anthony Edwards to Sabrina Ionescu to Devin Booker to Scoot Henderson to Jason Tatum, it was a busy time. And it makes perfect sense because as hard as it is for some of us to hear this because it makes us feel old, but we're closer to the end of the Nike LeBron, Nike KD, Adidas Harden, and Curry brand lines than we are at the beginning. With basketball signature products still on what feels like a really long down cycle with the exception of certain Jordan retros and the unique circumstances surrounding the Nike Kobe line, it pleased me to see that the Nike Sabrina line was doing well and that Devin Booker might be the first one in a long time to release a shoe that works both on and off the court. We could certainly use the energy because, man, talking about dunks, forces, and Jordans can get a little tiring after a while. All right, limited edition analog pockets. Well, after nearly 2 years and a stubborn refusal to pay resale because he's too good for it, Co-Writer finally got his hands on an analog pocket. What's that, you might ask? It's not a new sneaker or a new video game console. Well, it's a new portable video game console, but it's not new in the sense that it plays the latest game. It plays old games like the ones made for the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. If you have those old games collecting dust somewhere, you can play them on the analog pocket. And if you have the proper adapters, you can even play more games from the niche platforms like the Sega Game Gear, the Atari Lynx, the TurboGrafx 16, and the Neo Geo Pocket. I recognize one of those things Co-Writer put on here besides the Game Boy. Anyways, Co-Writer has been trying to get a pocket since they were available for pre-order back in December of 2021. Unfortunately, with demand being so high at launch, there was no chance he was getting a pocket within a reasonable time frame. Since then, Analog has released limited edition versions of the pocket in a variety of colorways, glow-in-the-dark editions, and even ones with translucent uppers. Technically, each colorway is limited in the sense that they are produced in less numbers than the black and white standard pocket, but because they released so many limited editions in the past year, it has become progressively easier to get a pocket. Again, the sneaker comparisons, they're just too easy here. Hot out of the gate, I've seen resale market, rare colorways that become too many colorways. Demand drops, Co-Writer takes advantage. And now he's playing arcade games on his Spice Orange analog pocket with that pretty screen. Wait, how is he playing X-Men versus Street Fighter on that thing? The pocket is tiny. It can't fit an arcade moving on. Never mind. All right. Co-Writer's top... Wait, why are we really finishing the year like this? This is my show. How are you getting a top 10 and I can't even name... I swear. All right. Honorable mention, J Balvin Air Jordan Medellin Sunset, Marvel Kith A6 Gel Light 3, except the Cyclops colorway because, you know, Cyclops is trash. Soleil Himbimberry and Crocs Pollux Clog, all of them basically. A6 Gel Cayano 30th anniversary, and then the Nike Dunk What the Clot. So, the official list of co-rider. Number 10, the A6 Gel Light 3 Shamrock Green, aka the Masters. Number 9, the Nike Air Zoom Generation First Game. Number 8, the Marvel Air Jordan 1 Next Chapter. Number 7, Adidas Stan Smith Homer Simpson. Number 6, the Air Jordan 12 Cherry. Number 5, the Carhartt WIP New Balance 990 V6 Sculpture Center. Number 4, Bathing Ape and Adidas Campus 80s Collegiate Navy. Number 3, the New Balance 9060 Blue Haze. My man Mosh Runner coming in at number 2 with the Bad Panda. And number 1, the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Vast Gray. Well, we have a note from you as well. A note from co-rider. This is the 2023 version of the Vast Gray Vomeros. He bought them earlier this year and has not taken them off. He did not know what the fuss was about, but now he ranks them among the most comfortable Nike shoes he's worn in the past 10 years. This dude, I swear. He apologizes for not having these on his radar back in the days and when the sneaker hipsters started rocking them a few years back. He is now fully on board, which means it's only a matter of time before the hype train completely goes off the rails and lands on outlet stores throughout the country. Dunks were an outlet staple once upon a time, and soon Vomeros will be too, and he'll be there to buy every colorway because they are so easy to put on and go with virtually anything. That's how you want to end the season. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for the show for 2023. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass this year and for joining us on the new channel. I'm Jacques Slade. I'll see you next year, but before you leave, we have a viewer Hard Pass.
Hey Jacques, I get that the Lakers have won 17 NBA championships, but I couldn't help but notice that you refer to them as the 17-time champion Los Angeles Lakers. This just isn't accurate. They've only won 12 championships since they moved to LA. The most disrespectful part is that you guys didn't even retire George Mikan's jersey until last year, who got you the 5 championships that you certainly wasted no time claiming.
Well, looks like somebody from Boston is big mad. Or is it a fan of the LA JV squad? You know what? We probably get some version of this voicemail or comment every few weeks. But now, after my 17-time world champion and one-time NBA Cup champion Los Angeles Lakers just raised a mini banner to celebrate the cup, I'll bite. Yes. My 17-time world champion Los Angeles Lakers are 17-time world champion Los Angeles Lakers because the Lakers franchise has 17 world championships. I know 5 of them are from when the franchise was in Minneapolis, and you know what? I have no problem with that. Those championships were lifetimes before I was born, so it's kind of been baked into my headcanon. And really, that's all that matters. Like, I could be a jerk and claim that the Boston Celtics have only 4 championships since the 80s, while my Lakers have 11, but that's not the end game. The real number is 17 versus 17. It took forever, but we caught up. And yes, I know that the relationship between LA and Minneapolis has been awkward and that the franchise honestly has not done a good job in recognizing the contributions of legends like George Mikan. It's a travesty that it took as long as it did for the franchise to retire number 99 and to give those 5 championships their own banners at Staples. But I've never run away from the truth and claimed LA has 17 on their own. LA has 17 thanks to the first dynasty in the NBA, the Minneapolis Lakers. Anyways, thanks for the voicemail, Boston fan or LAJV, whoever you are. I hope we get to 18 before y'all do. If you'd like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. And I promise I won't be as sarcastic when you leave a voicemail. Leave a short one, your socials if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, I'll see you guys in 2024. Have a good new year. Peace.